Good morning, friends. It's Bob again, bringing you another reflection on forgiving and forgiveness. I talked yesterday about the consequences of unforgiveness, or the lack of actually our forgiving others, and how that we pay a tremendous relational and emotional and physiological and spiritual kind of price when we fail to forgive. And I just want to acknowledge this morning in a way that I think is really important. When I was talking with Becky yesterday, we were just talking about how sensitive this is, because let's just say that there are some layers, that you have these offenses kind of level things that are going on, that have gone on with us, where we're hurt, where we're betrayed, where people have hurt us, or they've done things that hurt us. But then we have this other sort of, I'm going to say, subterranean layer, and that is this area of hurts that have been so damaging to us that to actually approach these things can be terrifying. And I want to admit that it can be absolutely terrifying, because these are areas that have so taken shape, and unfortunately, I think in these, rather than the upper layer of things, they sort of define our attitudes. These kind of things have defining kinds of characteristics toward our entire being, that maybe you have been sexually abused, which the numbers are unspeakably high for sexual abuse, and that continues to go up. And then we've got physical abuse, and these things are, that happened over a long period of time, and they have been devastating and really hard to deal with. Some of us have just even tried to blank them out of our minds because they're so tough to deal with. And so when a pastor guy like me starts to talk about these things, it's, instantly defenses go up, instantly, how could you do that? And I want you to know that in talking about these things, I know that I'm treading on very, very fragile territory, that the human heart is very fragile with these things. But we have to work through the forgiveness aspects of these things if you and I are to walk free from these things. So for me, my dad left when I was, I was older. I think I was 16. My dad and my mom had gotten divorced. My dad got custody of me at one point in time, and he rented an apartment for us. And then 2 weeks later, he got on a plane, went on a business trip, and never came back. And that left a scar on me. I didn't even realize, because I was pretty proud, as a high school student, and I didn't realize the kind of scar that left on me. And forgiving ended up being a big key for me to solve the riddle of a lot of these internal things that were just working their way, inside of me and outside of me. And I had become, freshly married at that point in time. And so I was in a place where these things started to come out, symptoms started to come out that were revealing that there's some root systems inside of me that I needed to be able to deal with. The point of this is that, and I'll talk with some more about this as the week goes on, but I think the point is that I realized that as we're walking into this, we're walking into tender territory, that in dealing with some of these hurts that have happened to us, for some of you, this has just been absolutely heinous. You've had heinous things go on in your life. You've had people treat you in a way that was so unbelievably cruel and harsh and terrible. And as we walk into this, I want you to know that God's tenderness and God's grace to you is so beautifully patient, and that the Lord is coaxing us out, that the Lord is saying, it's safe with me in this. And as we approach forgiveness together, and as we come out of our prison cell that kept us safe, that God is actually going to take us by the hand. He's going to treat us very kindly. He's going to be very patient as we walk this together. So please be aware that as we talk about this, I never, ever want to actually treat these things as if they're just something sort of trivial, because I know that the things that we've gone through in our lives are not trivial at all. But God is going to take us by the hand with forgiveness and lead us out of those different things that have imprisoned us for so long. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm praying for you. I love you. God bless you.